Alright, so this is the setup and use video for the E-Jet system for MPS, or used to be called AML. So this video will cover how basically everything a TA would need to know to run the lab. You should already have the system assembled at this point. If the system is not assembled, watch the other video. The other video covers assembly. This will cover just setup and the operation. And if you have any questions, you can talk to Professor Samuel. He has my contact information, and you'd also know which TAs or students would know how to run the system who are still at RPI. So yeah, first step in the setup, you need to mount the boom stand. This boom stand is what's actually going to hold the camera so you can see the printing when it's occurring. So you want to kind of line this up. It'll be on the optical table, and you're going to need to pick 2 diagonal holes. It's about like that. And this go with 1/4-20 screws. Might not line up perfectly. It's the best you can do. Tighten those down as tight as you can get them. This is going to be supporting the camera and microscope. Alright, so the next step will be make sure everything is plugged in. Around the back, so we have the function generator, the amplifier, the controller for the servo, and if you need a laptop plugged in, you'll need that too. Also the ground, just a simple banana plug. It goes into the ground hole on an outlet. And the servo controller, just a little cord that comes around, plugs in, front.
Bill, we can't see anything there.
It's just a little hole, and there should be a light that comes on. Should be a little green light that comes on, it says power, and the active light should be off. Okay, so next step, substrate. So we use gold-plated glass slides. So just get the substrate from the container. Then hold it to the substrate mount. I usually use double-sided tape. In this case, I'm using carbon tape. It doesn't really matter if it's carbon or not. Just any double-sided tape will work. Just put that down. Just take the substrate on it. And then to make the electrical connection, we're going to use the same silver tape that we already have right on the edge. And it needs to be, use a conductive adhesive because this is our ground connection. Tape that, make sure it's the gold and overlaps onto the tape that's already on the substrate mount. And our substrate's all set up. Alright, so next, ground for the substrate. It's just a little wire. There's a little ring thing that's been cut. You can just loosen the screw, slide it in, and tighten it down. Now that's already. I'm just going to start to set the air system. So for that, we want to turn the air on over here. Missing turn on the pressure gauge and cover the hole on the connector, and make sure the pressure gauge says around 2 psi, which it does. It should. There's no reason why it shouldn't. And then I'm just going to turn the air off. Actually, let's do that. So that way I can get the nozzle and stuff set up without having to worry about leaking. Next, we need to hook up the camera and lens. So the lens, microscope lens like this, will have a cap on the end of it. Just take that cap off, set the camera down, make sure it doesn't roll around. Set the cap down in a place you know where it is. Camera looks like this. It also has a lens cap, lens cap on it. So just take that off, set it down somewhere where you know where it is. Screw the camera onto the microscope lens, and then the background, put it in the ring stand, tighten it down. Mess around with it. We'll actually adjust the exact position later. So now, just going to move. Make sure this stage is all the way up at the top. Yeah, so make sure this stage is all the way up at the top. That way, when you put the nozzle in, it doesn't just immediately crash into the substrate, which would destroy it. So the nozzle, in this case, I was using this system earlier, just doing some testing with it. So the syringe already has some ink in it. So if we were to just put this in, it would dump out of the syringe and all onto the substrate. So first step I'm going to do is actually put the nozzle onto the substrate, simply screw or onto the syringe, not the substrate. It just screws on, and I'm going to be using NOA 73 in this case. There's also NOA 60. You'll be using both inks for the actual lab. I'm just going to demonstrate with the 73. The 60 will have the same procedure. It will just jet at a different voltage. But make sure that you're using the right syringe, unless you're using a brand new syringe, because you don't want to mix the inks. It will screw up the results. So then you just carefully insert this into the syringe holder and tighten the screw. And now if you look on the syringe, you look on the syringe body, there's this little spot that's kind of like a line. Where?
That's fine.
Okay. There's kind of like this line right here. You're going to want to make sure that the ink is above that line. So in this case, it looks like I need to add a little bit more. Not very much, but just enough that it comes above that line. The reason for that is below that line, the syringe actually starts to kind of angle inward. So if you have pressure, even though it's a constant pressure, the force will actually change on it, which can kind of screw up the experiment. So you want to make sure it's above that line. So take the ink, cap off the ink, and try to squeeze it out. It doesn't always come out. You might need to actually take the end cap off and push a little plunger down in there, just to get a tiny bit out. Be careful because it does come out fast. That's funny. And make sure you put the cap on the actual syringe that the ink is in before putting the back cap on. So the back cap will put a little bit of pressure on it, and that would push a bunch of the ink out, which you don't want. Oh, and also the nozzle. The nozzles will also be labeled with either 73 or 60 if they've been used before. If it's a brand new nozzle, once again, it doesn't matter. So make sure you use the proper nozzle. Now, I'm just going to take the air, hook it up, and now I can release the connector and pressurize the nozzle. Okay, so next, I'm going to take the clip from the power supply clip it onto the nozzle, and it helps if you kind of clip it onto the little vertical line thingies that are on it. This will help hold it on a little bit better. Alright, so now we're ready to actually start setting up the camera. So to do that, you should probably stop it now.